A friend of ours and probably the most loyal listener we have, Simon, and I had an interesting discussion the other day over text message, actually. And it was about a certain type of text message. It's you've been hanging out with someone for a while, you have a nice time, and then you go your separate ways. And then a few minutes after, or maybe like 30 minutes after, you get a text message that says, "Hey, man, it's great hanging with you. You're a good guy." Some kind of message like that, like, "Oh, that was a great conversation," or "Thanks for the great time."
Yeah.
He sent me this message, and he's done it a few times. And then he sent me a couple of videos talking about this type of message.
About this specifically, of saying something nice to someone after you just got done hanging out with them.
Yep, he sent me a video of a guy saying, "I just really like it whenever someone sends me a text message after we've been hanging out. They're just saying, taking 5 seconds out of their day to say, 'Hey, I'm thinking about you.' And I just think that's really nice." And I agree with that. But I think there's this other feeling that it causes inside me, and I'm trying to figure out what it is, because that's like some kind of negative feeling of, if I don't say, "Hey man, it was great hanging out with you too," then I feel like I'm an asshole.
Well, do you respond to it, or are you an asshole?
This reminds me of like standing up for my principle.
Okay.
My principles.
You have a principle about this.
I have principles in general. One of them is I must say no whenever Taco Bell asks me to round up my bill.
That's one of your principles?
Yes.
Why?
And I didn't realize it was a principle until one day my total was $9.99.
Oh.
And they said, "Would you like to round up and give that last penny?" And I was like,
He said no.
No. I have to stick to my principle.
Did the cashier do give a double take?
No, I don't think so. I wondered if they would, or if they're like spitting in my food because of how evil I am. I'm pinching a single penny.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had a principle of like, I don't like complimenting people after they compliment me.
And the person that Taco Bell complimented you, they're like,
No.
"Hey, you got a sweet ass face. You want some Taco Bell?"
This is the best order. I'm going to make this my order whenever I come to Taco Bell.
$9.99. Wow. This is the perfect order.
This is the perfect order to say, "Fuck you."
Fuck you to institutions.
There's like making me donate. Like you have all the money. You donate, not me.
Yeah, why don't they donate? They ran down.
But if someone compliments my outfit, then I feel this natural urge that I need to compliment their outfit. But I don't want to do that.
To me, it sounds like you just don't like obligations.
I don't like being told what to do.
Yeah.
It feels like we've talked about this off camera about peer pressure. I'm extremely resistant to peer pressure. Mm-hmm. And it feels a bit like that, where I'm being made to respond to something. The most extreme version of this that I can think of is whenever a husband and wife are like typing up a Facebook post. "I just want to say happy anniversary to my most amazing wife of some teen years, and she's the best, and I'll love you forever." Like when they put that out there on social media, I just can't stand that. And it almost feels like, okay, now you've got to do the same thing on your social media. Otherwise, we're not going to have a happy anniversary.
Yeah. Do you feel that way about Valentine's Day too?
Oh, new principle. Well, to you.
Yeah.
Fuck Valentine's Day. It doesn't exist.
Dude, I completely agree. I'm the same way. Me and Courtney, she's probably gonna laugh about hearing this being talked about on here. Me and her have like a really interesting tradition with Valentine's Day. And it always happens to be like the day that we get into an argument and we feel emotionally distant, and then we go eat dinner together as a way to like cope with it.
You mean there's something about the calendar that makes you two want to fight on February 14th?
Yeah, fuck love. No, it's like for
Makeup sex.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe, Courtney. No, but I think it happened to happen a couple times, and now it's like an inside joke where that's like the only thing we really celebrate with like Yeah.
February 12th, you're like, you know what? I need to talk to you. No, wait. This can wait 2 days. Let's celebrate properly.
I think one of us did make a joke like that. Like, just so you know, I'm waiting. I have something I still need to argue with you about for tomorrow. But in honesty, I feel that same way when it comes to Valentine's Day. I don't, especially consumer holidays, I don't like feeling obligated to have to buy someone something just because of a day that exists that's made up and bullshit as a way to sell jewelry and gifts to people.
Yeah, fuck De Beers.
De Beers?
The jewelry company. They make diamonds.
Fuck any jeweler, any like diamond company.
Shaneco, that's a diamond place.
Yeah, there's so many of them. Anyone that uses slave labor to get diamonds and sell it to your sweethearts on Valentine's Day can go straight to motherfucking hell. You know what I mean?
Yes, and I also think that the engagement ring is just a marketing ploy that worked.
Yeah, it's so strange that you'd buy an engagement ring that's not the real wedding ring, right? Isn't that like a separate ring?
Yep.
It's like trying to like it's like trying to convince someone to have to like buy a house before they buy a house. You got to have 2 mortgages.
I mean, I guess if I think way back in history and to see if a guy is going to be able to provide, maybe it makes sense to look at something like that, but not anymore.
Yeah.
And why couldn't it be a house?
I'd rather it be a house.
Yeah, like a down payment on like I made a down payment on a house. Will you marry me? Like,
yeah,
that'd be so much easier to say yes to than a diamond ring.
I would fucking agree. You know what? Now whether we're at it, we're just like shitting on these like superficial relationship like goals or like obligations that exist. Fuck expensive weddings. Like, I do not understand how people can spend tens of thousands of dollars on a single wedding day. Like, that money could be invested into so many better things for you. Like, okay, I get it if your family's paying for it and they have money and they want to turn it into this huge celebration, but like feeling obligated to spend your own personal money on your wedding and spend like $40,000 on a wedding for everyone that you're not even going to be able to really enjoy because you're going to be so distracted being pulled of like, take this photo, say hi to this person, that you can't even eat the fucking cake that you paid like $10,000 for.
That's exactly how I feel. We spent $2,500 on our wedding, and I regret that. We got a free venue, free everything except for like a few things. It was $2,500 with our tuxes and the dress and the rings. Everything was $2,500, and I wish we hadn't spent like most of it.
What would have been a reasonable price? $9.99.
Whatever it would cost to cater a backyard like barbecue hangout, because that was exactly the problem I had. Was all these people came and I got to say hi, thanks for coming, good to see you, next person please.
Yeah.
And I didn't like that.
Yeah, it is like, excuse me, weddings are like a very like celebratory thing, and it can be cool. Like, I think it's special for a couple to like see people there to like celebrate them and like support them in this decision they're making. But at the same time, so much of the aspect of a wedding is not like really celebrating the love. It's all these like, oh, weddings need flowers. You have to have flowers for weddings. Oh, you need to make sure to feed everybody there so everyone's comfortable. We can have food. There's alcohol for everyone. Oh, you got to have that perfect song and dance. Where it's, the thing that bothers me is it's not even like, people aren't even consciously making the choice to do these things for the wedding. They're just going through the motions of what they feel like they have to do, what a wedding entails.
We have to link arms and drink the drink, and we've got to toss the bouquet.
If you don't put cake in their face, like, are you even married?
I may not be married then.
You didn't do it?
No, you mean like rub it?
Yeah.
No, I didn't do that.
Why?
Because I thought it was rude.
You thought it was rude to rub cake, or have her rub cake on your face, or
No,
for you to rub it on hers?
For me to rub it on hers.
Would you have liked it if Lydia rubbed cake on your face?
I don't think so. I think it would have been sticky, and I don't know, maybe if someone cracked a really funny joke, but I don't think I would like that. Do you want someone to rub cake on your face?
Every single day of my life.
I just happen to have a.
Just a piece of cake. This whole thing was just set up and planned for this.
Simon and I came up with this diabolical plan that we're going to start out here, but then it's going to quickly divert to Valentine's Day and weddings.
Yeah, just really. It's fucking evil, man. But going back to like the situation with like Simon and feeling obligated to text, like, do you think there's value behind doing that of reply, like saying something nice to someone, or like, I guess what we're talking about is just kind romantic gestures?
Yeah, I think this is why it's interesting to me is I think it feels good.
Yeah.
And I appreciate it, but I also am annoyed by it at the same time.
Okay.
And it's
like how I feel about being like having to text someone.
No. That's no problem at all. I don't understand anybody that would have that problem.
Fuck you, but okay, keep going.
It feels okay. I have responded with the heart. That feels like it solves my problem a bit.
Do you feel like that's enough?
I did before you asked that.
Dude, if I remember when I'm responding to text, if I just do like the thumbs emoji or like hearting something on the text, I feel bad. I feel
Worse than if you'd said nothing?
Kind of. Actually, maybe not. Maybe it's like when I haven't done anything, it's like potentially they're still waiting on me, and I potentially could send them and I usually will send a longer text
if you send
back.
the heart, that might be all you're getting.
Yes.
Yeah.
And sometimes it just like, it feels cheap, man. It feels fucking cheap. But at the same time, I actually like that idea. Like, I feel like if I could convince myself to do that, I would like relieve actually a lot of stress when it comes to replying to a text.
Yeah, we need to up our emoji game. My kids have been saying that for a long time. They're like, why are you so angry all the time when you text? I'm like, what are you talking about? They're like, you used a period.
No.
Yes.
Over a period?
Yeah, you don't put any periods ever.
It's just one long run-on sentence.
No,
Actually, not even a sentence, probably,
a whole
right?
bunch of sentence fragments sent individually.
Sent individually?
Yes, that's how you text these days.
Holy shit, I'm out.
Yeah, you like write a book each time.
Yeah, I just like again, like I think I've said it on here before. I look at text as like writing a letter or like writing an email, like something that's captures a lot of different things that it's trying to express. Whether it's like, what?
Why do you think you look at texting so wrong?
Why do I?
Yes,
because I don't think people use it for that same reason, and so I feel different. See, I
you
feel
wanna be special.
Do I want to feel special?
Yeah, is that you?
No, I do. I think. What is texting? But I know it's such a weird thing to say, but like, what is texting? Texting is writing a message to someone. What were messages? Messages were written in letters. It took time, required time. It required a lot of thought and effort being put into this thing that's being sent to someone. And letters and messages were actually treated as almost like gift-like in a way.
That is the most fucking Tucker Carlson chain of
What?
What is texting? Texting is sending a message. If we look historically at how messages have been sent, it's been with letters. Therefore, texting is letters. This is bullshit.
How is it bullshit?
Texting is casual messages.
Texting is casual messages.
Like it's casual. It's quick. Like it's limited to 104. It was limited to 140 characters.
Yeah.
If we're going to look at the history.
Letters weren't. Letters had as many characters as you fucking want.
And whenever there was a 140 character limit of texting and you had a set number of texts per month that you could use, that's when it diverged from letters. People are like, I gotta say how the letter R and the letter U doing. Like you gotta make it brief, and it diverged from letters at that point.
Well, I mean, I'll be honest. I mean, I used to text like shitty ass like text fragments, like switching my little flip phone, just texting, doing
T9 texting.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know. I think writing is one of the things that I really enjoy doing. I like the way that I can make words flow. I really enjoy English. I like being able to like write a paper or write in like an argument or express the way that I feel through words. And so there's no other communicative medium for me to do that because I don't use social media. And so texting is the only thing I have available to do that. And so in my mind, I look at texting as that thing.
So you see the purpose of texting, but you bring your own purpose.
Yeah, what it means to me.
Okay.
It's like the same thing with social media. Some people are like extremely addicted to social media and use it in different ways. I use it as a tool for like what I want to do. If I do use social media, I'm using it for like a certain purpose.
Yeah, just everyone else uses it different.
Not everyone else. Maybe everyone else.
Let me come up with the list that I had before. Shoot.
I'm trying to think. Like, I've met quite a few people that I feel like text that way, where it's like a big paragraph, where it's like a lot's being answered at once. Okay, I will say this. I don't mind text being simplistic. I'm not saying they have to be like fucking 50 paragraphs, 5 paragraphs. It can be like 2 paragraphs saying something. But the issue that I have is when something is sent as like just an individual small text, there is an expectation that you need to respond to that. It's almost like it's inefficient.
I see what you're saying. You have this other pressure of you don't want the other person to feel like they have to respond quickly. And so you write it more of a letter or email style that puts a little bow on the end that says, this is all I have to say for right now. Now it's your turn.
Yes.
And you can take however long you want, and then you tie it up in a little bow, and then I'll reply. I think that's a missing piece I was thinking.
Yeah, it's exactly that, because if I allow myself to text with someone and someone just like writes one question, they're like, hey, how you doing? I know for a fucking fact after I say this, they're going to just like ask me more. And so it becomes this like super inefficient game of like, do we really need, well, first off, this sense of urgency for me to reply to this conversation can keep going, but do I really need to just like wait for you to ask these questions that I know are going to be led versus maybe going, okay, this person wants to understand what I'm dealing with and who I am and maybe like what I've been like doing lately. I'm just going to like share that with them and then ask them the same.
It seems like you're just trying to stop the texting from happening. So I'm going to send everything. Because the way you just said that was like, if I respond to that one text message, guess what? There's going to be more. They're just going to follow up with more questions, more connection.
No, because it's, again, like, I think the argument I'm trying to make is the inefficiency of it. Like, if, okay, how about this? Let's say you're getting an Amazon package delivered to you. You bought like 6 items. And all of that could be sent to you at one time. Like, oh, at 5 p.m. tomorrow, you'll have that. You're like, okay, cool. Would you rather have that, or would you rather have that spread? One of those items comes like every 5 hours for the next like 3 days.
That's not a fair analogy.
Why is that?
Because you've got to say that, would you rather all of them come at the end of the 3 days? Or would you rather them come sporadically over those 3 days? And I think I'd rather have them sporadically.
But isn't you'd rather have it sporadically?
Like you're saying, get them all at the end of some period of time, or
Yeah.
they're spread out throughout that period of time. Like that sounds like so many more dopamine hits. Like, oh man, I get to go see what I ordered because I can never remember what it is.
Do you get dopamine hits from texting?
I was saying from getting an Amazon package.
Oh, from the packages, for sure. Yeah.
Like, oh, because I order so much from Amazon, I don't know what it is. It's always a surprise. And that's what hits your dopamine receptor.
Yeah, I actually did this. I came up with this process for making sure that I'm like happy, like consistently. And what I do is I buy, it's really not that expensive. I spend $2 a day and I buy a $1 item and I get them delivered one in the morning and one in the evening for the whole month. So then I end up spending $60 a month to have these short little bursts of dopamine, even though I know the item that I'm opening is not going to be that cool or that fun, but it makes me feel good.
I don't believe this.
You shouldn't, because I just lied about it all. I hate texting.
To see if I'm really happy or not, I return a random package to Amazon without opening it.
Whoa, really?
No.
Damn. That's a good test for yourself.
I know, like I'll be fine without this thing that I ordered.
Yeah, do I really need this?
I don't even remember what it is, but I'll be fine.
It's just like Lydia,
I'm
one of your kids'
happy.
packages. Oh, I don't fucking need this. I'll just return it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think you're touching on this a little bit of that one little message is just opening the door for more.
Yeah.
I think that is another reason why someone might send this type of message. And maybe that's another reason why I'm resistant to it. Mm-hmm. Like there's probably a few reasons. One is I don't think this is about Simon, but I want to make sure that I want someone to be able to say the thing that they say in text in person.
Yeah, definitely.
So if they can't say it in person, but they can say it in text, then I don't like that.
Okay.
But if we've just spent a bunch of time, and maybe it depends on how busy I am after. If we just spend a bunch of time hanging out and then they send that message to try to open the door for more messages, then maybe that's another reason why I don't like the feeling of it.
Mm-hmm. What if they sent the message to you the next day when you had nothing going on? Would you reply to it?
I would be more likely to reply to it.
Got it.
It also feels more thoughtful because it's farther away from the event.
Yeah, but does it like make you? Okay, so maybe I guess maybe it is the obligation. Like, do you feel like in this example that Simon feels obligated to send you that message, or do you think he's doing it because he really feels that way? Like, hey, this hangout was so meaningful to me. I just want to let you know that I really like enjoyed that.
I think it's a little bit of both for him. From what he was saying, it's something that he got from his childhood about sending thank you notes to people for stuff. And this feels very similar to that. But because it was his upbringing, he now feels like he needs to do it. So it's kind of like an obligation, but I also think he usually means it. Right?
Okay.
I think he does.
But it's almost like a tradition.
Yeah.
Interesting. This is interesting conversations because I feel like that's kind of going into what we were talking about with like weddings and Valentine's Day it is traditions, and traditions are like just these obligated things we do because like that's what's like potentially celebrated like from your like social group, from your family, or like wherever that comes from. Do you feel like you have traditions in your family? Do you follow traditions?
I actually think I wrote a blog post on how much I dislike tradition.
Okay.
The word, but also the mechanic. It feels like we're keeping this around because it's been around. It's like the opposite of beginner's mind. I think it can keep growth from happening. Mm-hmm. And I tried to think of a way that a tradition would make sense. And it'd be like, all right, every year, me and Lane and Simon are going to go on a backpacking trip up to the Sawtooths. That would be a tradition. But then we're like kind of stuck going to the same place.
Yeah.
And so maybe a tradition where you say the tradition is that we're going to get together, but we're going to decide what it is each time. I'm pretty resistant to tradition. It just feels like a decision that someone made in the past and is not considering the future people. And
Yeah.
you're just doing it anyway.
Do you think there's value in traditions?
I guess I think no. I think a tradition can have some kind of element in it that brings value to your life, but the fact that it's a tradition is not what makes it valuable.
Okay. So, but it's almost like just planning something is the helpful part from it. Like the part of the traditions is just like planning to do that thing. That's potentially helpful.
No, I'm saying like maybe we have a tradition of every Christmas we go and shovel people's driveways of snow.
Sure.
Like that sounds like it would be helpful. That tradition would be helpful to people. Or we've got a tradition of spring cleaning every year. That tradition is helpful. But the fact that we decided this a long time ago and it's basically saying fuck future pending information.
Yeah.
I don't like that part of it.
Well, what if you're like your kid is like doing the tradition? You're like, this is actually a good tradition for us, shoveling snow for the neighborhood. It's like really nice. We're doing something good. This feels like a good tradition. But then your kid is shoveling snow, and in his experience is like, this is fucking terrible. Why the fuck am I shoveling this random person's like snow off the driveway? I could be doing something else. This tradition is pointless. I don't see the value in this thing.
The way that most people defend traditions is by saying it's tradition.
Yeah.
Fuck your feelings. It's tradition.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't like it.
Okay, so that's the only reason. It's because it's like, it's not open to further discussion. It's just, it is what it is.
It seems like the opposite of the scientific method, and you are likely to get yourself into a situation that is outdated.
Yeah.
Emotionally, practically, technologically, at least in one way or another.
That's interesting.
How do you feel about tradition?
I feel very similar, I would say. Okay. I don't like feeling obligated to have to do these things just because someone else decided. And especially because I have opinions of like what I think would be a better way of like approaching it. I'm like, oh, maybe this other thing would be more fun to do versus like this specific day in once a year we always do this one thing. But at the same time, I do think traditions can be helpful when it comes to like maintaining like connection. I will say that, because there's been times where like I probably wouldn't have like hung out with a large extended group of family if it wasn't for a tradition, if it wasn't for a holiday. Like, and
isn't it highlighting a different problem?
Like what? That I don't want to hang out with my family?
Yeah. That you're not just you, but your family doesn't want to hang out enough that they would arrange it without the tradition.
Well, I think it comes down to busyness. Like sometimes life can be really busy, or maybe we just perceive it as a bit more busy than it really is. But sometimes that tradition does kind of just block off. It does become a social obligation, but it's also like you don't allow other things to take up that time planned for it. But so I could see there being value in something like that, but I also lean more towards what you described, which is I like traditions being like just being that, like being like, hey, we're going to plan to do something, but whatever that thing is, that's okay to change. It's not like, yeah, every year we're going to go to this specific place and always hang out and do this. Which there might be value for that, especially when you're like a kid. Reoccurringly going to the same place does build like memories. But so I think it is very dependent on what the tradition is.
Yeah. Lids had a tradition in her family where every Christmas they would go up to Pennsylvania, which was like a 10 or 12 hour drive. It was a really far drive, and they would do it all at once. And, you know, when they were little, they seemed ignorant and they liked it. But when they got to be teenagers, they stopped liking that so much because they had to do it.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, even that feels strange to me. Like I would like to have my kids want to come see me and not need to be a tradition.
Yeah. Like they just want to themselves.
Right. And maybe the tradition is, hey, it's September. Let's talk about Christmas. We haven't done one together in a while. Would you want to do one together this year? Yeah, I feel like I remember when I was a kid, we just kind of got stuck doing the same thing for Christmas. And whenever my parents want to do something different, I was like, no. But I was just like used to the comfort of it.
Yeah.
But then we got to go to Williamsburg, Virginia for a Christmas vacation. It was snowy and like really different. And I was glad we did that.
Really, at the end, you were happy that it was different than what you were expecting.
Yeah, I wanted that to be the new tradition, actually. Can we go here every year? It doesn't snow there that often, but I didn't know that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. So with the tradition of like Christmas, where it's like your family hangs out together, like you and your kids hang out, open presents, hang out, like connect, have fun, celebrate Christmas. If your kids get older, are you more okay with them like potentially being like, I don't really care for that tradition. I want to just do my own thing for a while. Would you be okay with a couple years going by where maybe they're like, don't hang out?
So think about the alternative. If they don't say that, then they're gonna be like, and they feel the same way. They're gonna be like, oh, we got to go to dad's, or we got to go to our parents. Like, I don't like the sound or the feeling of that either.
Yeah.
But if they decide it each year separately without tradition that they want to come see me, then you'll be my favorite. For any of my kids that are listening.
That's really interesting. Like something just came in my head that happened like a couple days ago, actually a couple weeks ago, that I feel like is kind of relevant to this, but it's a little different. So maybe it is kind of a tradition, but like my parents always had this like this tradition, I guess. I don't know if it's a tradition, but maybe a more of a belief that you should eat your food without complaining about it. And my youngest son has been going through this period. He's 7 years old, but he used to be like so interested in eating healthy food. He would always be like, I love healthy food. I love vegetables. And his older brother was kind of like, and he was kind of showing off, I think, for the reason. But it was like a good thing because he was like excited to eat healthy food. Now, anytime there's things that have like vegetables, he like complains about it. And I think it's because it's not like vegetables can kind of be tougher to eat. Like not every vegetable is like a pleasant experience to eat, but you know that it's like good for you. So you eat it.
Yeah.
And so we were eating a certain meal and I had put a bunch of effort into having this prepped. It was like, this kind of like Costa Vida. Have you had Costa Vida?
Oh yeah.
I pretty much made like their sweet pork and salads, and I had everything like made for this. And he was just like complaining that he didn't want to eat this as a salad, and I'm like, no, just fucking eat it. This is healthy for you. This is good for you. And we got into like a heated argument, like him like yelling and screaming and refusing to eat food for like an hour straight, maybe even more. And I was just like so tired. And like my older son and my partner, she's like, we're all just like so annoyed because it's like, it's just food. And I've told him before, I'm like, I've tried to go into like the details of being like showcasing other countries and how they don't have food. And he should feel very grateful for the food he has. But his brain's only 7 years old. So
can we box this up and ship it to them, Dad?
Yeah.
That's what my kids say.
Really?
Yeah.
When you say that?
Yeah. Like, are you going to finish all that? They're starving kids in Africa. And they're like, we can send this to them if you want.
It sounds like they're joking as a way to get out of it.
Yep.
So like me and him got into this big argument, and it was just like, this is just like really annoying. I put this effort for this food, and I'm like explaining this to him. Like, I cooked all this food for you. This is really healthy for your body. I don't think he understands exactly why it's healthy, even though I've tried explaining it. So, and I understand that he's 7 years old, so he's not gonna be able to fully comprehend this. And so I was just like forcing him to eat it, and he was like, could you just cook the spinach for me, like that the salad's made out of? And at first I was just like, no, like this is how the food is made. I made it this way. We have to eat it this way. And he was like really hurt by that. And like an hour or so, actually not even an hour, like maybe like 30 minutes later, I was like thinking about it. I was like, is there anything wrong with if he cooks like the spinach for himself, instead of eating it in salad form, for him to just saute it and eat it that way because he likes it more? And it's still achieving the same thing. It's just in a different way. And so I feel like I had to kind of break out of like a belief or like a tradition I have of being like, no, you eat the food that you have, like in the way that it's given to you. And I had to like kind of take myself back and be like, if he wants to take the time and effort to cook the vegetables themselves in a different way and he still eats it, I think that's still a good thing. And I felt like it was a really good learning lesson for me to be like, I don't think this doesn't need to stay the way that it is as long as it's still being utilized in the same way. And it actually led to me having more experiences teaching him how to cook.
Interesting.
Yeah. Does that sound relevant to this conversation?
Yeah, it does. I make a smash burger and it is extremely delicious. I've had multiple people tell me this is my favorite burger in the whole world. and it's just using Kenji Lopez Alt's recipe. It's not that complicated, but most people don't go to the trouble of smashing it and stuff. And I discovered this, and it was fucking delicious. And I was like, I told my mom and stepdad to come over, and she was like, don't put American cheese on mine. And I was like, oh, sorry, that's how it comes. If you want to try it again another time, but this is how it comes.
Yeah.
And I made them all the same. And she gave me this like sheepish look of, oh my God, this is really good. I didn't think I would like that plastic American cheese, but it totally does. It's like important to this dish. I think she didn't want white onion on it either, but it all just comes together and it's all important and it's so delicious. And if she had just done her traditional thing of no cheese or cheddar cheese or whatever she liked, she wouldn't have experienced this new, better type of burger.
Yeah.
And I guess I feel like that's the skill that is kind of behind your tradition with your son of, well, yeah, we don't have to love everything we eat. It's okay to even eat something that we slightly dislike. And it's a skill, and it will give you access to more different things. And so I guess I think that there's like a time for it, and there's a time to go the other way of, okay, no, you can cook your thing. As long as he can eat something when he doesn't really want to, then like check.
Yeah.
Like if he's got that emotional capacity, I feel like you're good there, and you can let him do something else. But if he's always like, no, like I just imagine, I don't want this as a salad. I want this as a taco.
Yeah.
And then he's just eating chicken nuggets.
Like he's reverting back to that.
Like 3 weeks later, he's just eating chicken nuggets or whatever his favorite food is.
Yeah, fuck that. And I do feel like a sense of it or a part of it is kind of like that. Like the reason he's complaining about these foods is because they're harder to eat than processed foods.
Why don't you make the food that I love, Dad?
Yeah. And I think my older son went through this phase too, which is just like, I think that he just really enjoys like ultra processed foods. He's like, I like pizza, I like chicken nuggets, and I agree. I mean, I fucking love pizza. I'll eat a bunch of processed foods, but there's a reason we choose not to eat those. And so I do feel like I'm battling this like this understanding that he has of being like, if this food just tastes good, better for me, and I like it more, why can't I just have that? And it's like forcing me to have to like teach him like, there's a reason we don't always eat that. We eat like healthier foods. Here's how vegetables work. Here's how the nutrients work that your body requires from that. So I've just been making my kids watch a bunch of food documentaries.
Yeah, I feel like you're trying to argue food is fuel. It's also recreation, but more importantly, it's fuel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that like you can still make healthy food taste good. And I think he knows that. There's just some things where he has a belief. Like he's like, I don't like cabbage. That's the thing. Because I put shredded cabbage in this pico de gallo that I make as what?
That's a really small thing. Like it's just like tiny pieces and a bunch of other tiny pieces.
Yeah, but he's like, it tastes like fart water. So he says, but I'm like, it doesn't. And it's like soaked in lime juice and salt, so it just tastes like lime.
You know what fart water tastes like?
Yes, it does not taste like that.
Okay.
I don't want to go into detail why, but I will say this cabbage is good.
I slipped in the bathtub and I inhaled, and I had been really gassy during that bath.
It's like when you said like I called it like a bong hit. When you're like a kid and you're sitting in the bathtub and then you like lean forward and then you fart and then you see the bubbles move up and you just start breathing.
Did you just come up with that?
Yeah.
That's really good.
Really?
Yeah. Bong hit fart.
Thanks. Yeah. I had to think about it for a second, but that's what I went with. And that's what gave me brain damage. I think I got brain damage from that.
I can't remember.
Yeah, I just start like having this like where therapists or like therapeutic sessions like give where you like start having flashback from these childhood memories. I'm just having like intense flashbacks of like inhaling my farts in the bathtub. Like, oh shit, have an emotional like, breakdown from it.
Maybe it was a sibling's fart in the bathtub.
That would be disgusting. My own farts I'm fine with, but other people's farts, fuck that.
Did I tell you about my weird experiment that I've always wanted to conduct about smelling your own fart?
No.
I'm so grateful for ChatGPT because I get to ask something this question.
Okay.
But I've always wondered if I farted, but somehow you secretly captured my fart
Yeah.
and released your own fart or someone else's fart besides mine,
Yeah.
would I be like, my own brand? Or would it be like, oh, like would I be grossed out as if it was the same one? And ChatGPT says that I would be grossed out more than it would, like I would tell, I would be able to notice, or I would think like something's wrong. Something's wrong with this situation.
I could see that because I do feel like we're just talking about farts, but your farts like are expressions of yourself.
They're expressions of your gut bacteria.
Yeah, I mean,
And that's what you're smelling.
yeah, I mean it is. Like you're smelling your own like internal body system.
And mine has never, I've not gotten sick from mine. This is like ChatGPT's information.
Okay.
But I could get sick from someone else's, and that's why your brain finds other people's more disgusting.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How can you get sick from someone else's?
Well, if you were, it's like, don't eat from this area because people have pooped here. You like smell it.
Oh, okay. So it's like a survival thing.
Yes.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, that's good to know. I don't know about you, but like, I can always, this is like so gross. I can always tell what upsets me by the smell of my fart, like my stomach. I can like pick up notes of certain types of foods. I'm like, that's what's bothering my stomach.
Broccoli.
Yeah. Like, have you noticed
Broccoli
that?
has a certain fart. I don't know that I've noticed the specific food. I haven't paid that
Okay.
much attention.
But you can smell broccoli.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cause I think it's like, they're very like sulfuric. But yeah, I can like, if I've eaten a bunch of other things, I can pick up one small, like, if I have a stomach ache and I'm like really gassy, I can smell a distinct smell that I can tell is a certain food. And I'm like, oh, that must have been the thing that actually got my stomach upset.
Your body's like, I don't want to touch that. And it just like lets it pass through more easily.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, let's get this the fuck out of here.
I'm getting some fart water cabbage.
I mean, I think those things like, you know, cabbage, what is it? I can't think of the term, like the vegetable
I'm not
term.
going to be able to. Cruciferous?
Cruciferous. I think you nailed it.
99% sure.
Yeah, I think you're fucking right. I think you fucking nailed that shit, man.
Like cabbage and Brussels and broccoli, they're all related.
Yeah, and they also cause a lot of gas, but they're also like known to be one of the healthiest vegetables because there's some type of compounds they've like observed in those type of foods that are potentially like anti-cancer, like cancer killing from what I've read. So
I'll take some of that.
yeah, it's one of the reasons why like people were obsessed with broccoli sprouts for the longest time. You know broccoli sprouts?
You mean with the little tiny?
Yeah.
I didn't know that they did that. Yeah, I've just seen alfalfa and clover and.
Yeah, there's broccoli sprouts that are apparently super high in this like sulfuric compound that's been shown to actually be like really like healthy for your body. And like, I think they've done a couple studies. I could be wrong, but a couple studies that it's like killed cancer or I'm not gonna go like it killed cancer cells. It kills cancer. But there was some type of thing that maybe showed like improvement when it comes to like having cancer.
Fire your oncologist right now. We've got the solution for you. Broccoli sprouts.
Broccoli sprouts. So people were taking like extreme like compound extracts of it and compounds of like, like extracted high compounded versions of broccoli sprouts as a way to like combat health issues.
There was this weird restaurant in East Tennessee where I was from, and the owner got some form of cancer, and he cured himself with diet. And it was
He actually did. Like it was like
that's what he claimed. I was a kid, so I didn't verify this. But I remember getting the broccoli or the lasagna from his restaurant, and it had broccoli in it. And I was like, this is a disgrace.
Do Do you think that was it that saved his life? The broccoli and his lasagna?
Must be. Oh, do you know barley green? It's like a
Is it just
supplement that you can take. Maybe it's very green and it tastes fucking green.
Okay. It's like wheatgrass?
Maybe, but my mom made us start taking that after finding that. And it was pretty bad for a while until she got like a capsulizer.
Okay,
I don't know
yeah.
if that's what it's called, but she put it into capsules and that was fine.
She would dry it out and everything too?
No, it was already dry as in powder form.
Oh, she would just blend the grass.
Yep.
Interesting. Huh.
So when I mentioned this topic to my sister, she brought up an interesting point, which is whenever someone does that for her,
The topic of wheatgrass?
no, farts.
Oh,
No, actually, it was your son's pickiness. That's what we were talking about.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's why I don't text with my son's pickiness.
Yeah.
But anyways, keep going.
She said that whenever someone sends that text message, if she had been wondering, did they feel as connected with me as I did with them? Then it like verifies that, and she likes that part of it. And that was a side that I hadn't really thought about.
Yeah. I don't know. I have the opinion that when someone does that, I would hope the people that would send a text being like, "Hey, just got done hanging out with you, but I just want to let you know that like really meant a lot to me." I hope that those people don't feel like they need to send a text like that. But if they really mean that and they do it, it actually makes me feel really good. And I'm like, I'm happy they shared that because it's like, it's kind of a vulnerable thing. They're like, hey, like you meant a lot to me. That experience we had meant a lot to me. But I think if I would have like an experience with someone, like have a really great day with someone, they send me that text and I feel good about it. But the next time I hang out with them, I'm just like farting in a bathtub the whole time and inhaling like the bubbles. And they're sitting there like, what the fuck is this? And they go home and then they text me that same type of text. I'm not gonna like that because it's dishonest.
So how do you feel, at least at this stage in the conversation, going forward, you're going to approach this situation?
If someone's gonna send a message like that to me,
No.
Oh.
Are you going to send the message?
sometimes actually
Because
I do
that's
that.
part of what I'm considering is, wait, is this a kindness? Is this a courtesy thing that I should be doing that I'm just ignorant of?
Yeah, so what I do is I just I use ChatGPT's API, and what I do is I integrate my calendar like schedule with it, and so when I can see the moment, like I have it, the agent knowing that after 5 minutes of the event being done with the people I've assigned to those
It's got like a
events,
geofence around the address of the location. As soon as you leave the geofence, it's
yeah.
like,
And so I'm like, take the metadata about where we were, what was happening in this calendar, like invite or
check the weather and maybe mention something like that in the message.
yep. And after 5 to 10 minutes, send a message directly through like a SMS service, like this SMTP server, and just like send like a,
It probably puts one of those double dashes in it. Fucking AI is always putting double dashes in my stuff. And I feel like it's like a huge tell.
it's like, needs a little dash of this, a little dash of that. And that's the way it's doing it. It just adds little
A
dashes.
dash of AI.
Yeah, it's a dash of AI in it. It's funny, that's the way we tell what's AI and what's not, is with the double dashes.
Yeah, we're going to be fucked as soon as it stops using double dashes.
Then we wouldn't be able to know.
Nope.
It's going to stop one day, there's no more double dashes. Like, okay, who the fuck, is this AI?
Lane actually sent me a message this time.
It's like, hey, and it's like, error. I really enjoyed hanging out with you at error.
But there's no double dash.
Yeah, this fucking Lane.
He's crazy. He's always doing some kind of crazy joke.
He's so silly. But in seriousness, I think I'm the type of person where if I just have high expectations of what would allow me to send a text like that. But if I do have like a really amazing experience with someone, like for me, I do enjoy just like normal hangouts, but for me, it's like if it was really meaningful to me of being like, whoa, I needed this. That's different for me. And if I have a moment where I'm like, holy shit, that situation, that hangout really recharged me and like was more of a thing that was really valuable to me, I would send a text like that.
There's been a lot of situations that I think that's happened between us, but you don't send that message. But you say it in person.
Yeah, I say in person.
You literally say like, oh my God, that felt so good to just be able to talk to someone about that.
Yeah.
I needed that. Like, thank you. And you say that to me in person.
Oh yeah, the reason I was laughing for stuff is just like I feel like it was just presenting me as just this shithole asshole person. He just huffs their own farts in the bathtub and never says nice things to people.
16 episodes, not one thank you note.
Yeah. But you are right. I think that's actually a really valid point. I feel like I do try really, really hard to say those things in person to leave that like for them to like feel it. Like, and if I really do feel that way, I will say it in a way where I'm like speaking from like my heart and how much it means to me. And I would choose that any day over texting.
Me too.
You need to switch to the non-texting game. It's fun over here, man.
I don't know. I don't think I'd have as much connection.
Is it real connection though?
I think so. I think like Nick and I now climb 2 days a week and we're going to go canyoneering together.
But you're not climbing through text.
No, but we arranged things through text, just like really short messages.
I'm okay. I'm totally cool with arranging things through text. It's what, you don't believe that?
Like that's a big part of what texting is I think.
No, I know people personally who just like use text as their general sense of communication. Their general tool of communication.
Yeah, I guess I feel like I could talk about you texting forever for some reason. I don't like that.
It's okay. I know this podcast might just turn into just like debate me about texting. The only person in the world who hates texting.
You have to keep this problem forever or the podcast is over.
Why do you think I like argue this so much? The only reason I don't text is because it's my like social identity. Is I am a non-texter.
You're a rebel.
Yeah, and I'm proud to make this. I'm proud to stand up for what I believe in, JT.
You're the oldest 31-year-old I've ever met.
You got my fucking lawn.
You just do with kids and your music.
Texting fucking letters. I texted words back in my day, and you're texting letters. I did not fight for this fucking country, so you text letters.
Back in my day, we sent GIFs.
Yeah, we did, and we called them GIFs, and we made our own GIFs, and we made our own memes. Now people don't make memes anymore. People just use memes. It's just like
it's poor memes.
it is. This is what's wrong with our culture. Is people are just users. People aren't givers. They're not creators. They just use things until there's nothing left.
Fucking consumers.
Yeah. They fucking have Valentine's Day. They have expensive weddings. And then guess what? They go home and instead of huffing their farts, they just let it fly right away because they don't give a fucking damn about it. They don't need it.
They build a tent over their hot tub or their bathtub and they keep it in.
I like the idea of a communal hot tub with a bunch of people all farting in there with like a blanket on the top.
Hotboxing farts.
Yeah, that'd be a really good way for a cult, like mass suicide.
Carbon monoxide poisoning.
Yeah.
Or maybe you take the route where you have the tent, but it's like neck down. Your head sticks up out of the tent for fresh air.
Ooh, so so the value is actually just having your body be associated with the farts. It's kind of like those like crazy natural paths, like natural. Is it pathist?
A
natural paths.
Natiopath. I want to say natio for some reason.
A natiopath or something like a psychopath.
They're the ones that don't use performance enhancing drugs.
Yes.
Natty paths.
Natty paths.
You can tell them by their tiny muscles.
But don't tell them that, they'll fucking kill you.
With the poison because they don't have the muscles.
Yeah, well, maybe this like hot tub thing would really help out. But it's like those naturalist type people where they drink their own urine as a way to like heal their ailments. There's people that probably would like use this like system you're talking about, their heads being out of it and the farts are being trapped, but then like being pressurized into their skin, it probably is a healing process.
How long you'd have to save up farts to be able to breathe it long enough to keep like only breathe farts?
I don't know, but if you ate a bunch of broccoli sprouts like every single day, you probably would be the healthiest person. And they might be really healthy farts.
Yeah.
And they might be very strong farts.
Cancer is just like, bing, bing.
It just burns them.
Cancer can't touch you. The sun's wearing sunscreen.
Yeah. Oh my God. I feel like this is the most we talk about farts on a podcast.
Yeah.
This reminds me of like those old school podcasts where like, or like radio shows where it's like they're talking, they're just playing sound effects. So like, yeah. And it's like, yeah, and there's like so many farts, like, and everyone thinks it's so funny.
That's the 60th fart of the day. And you know what that means? Time to prank call someone.
Yeah. Hey, do you sell hot tub like a fart in? Like clap. You know what I mean?
Our advertisers are going to be so happy about this.
Oh man. I think that's enough farts for me.
I'm good for right now.
But you can have more?
Yeah, in a few more minutes, probably.
Cool.
Cool.
What do you think you're going to do anything different about this? Like, is this conversation changed any of your thoughts about gentle, nice messages given to you after a hangout? Or do you feel like you're the type of person that would want to communicate out, hey, if you feel this way, just tell me when we're hanging out, and that means more to me.
I think this conversation is less about what I want other people to do towards me, and more about how I'm going to go forward in the future. And I think my takeaway is I want to be vulnerable in the moment, and just say, hey, I'm actually having a really fun time right now. Like just being able to say that, I think that would feel really good, and it feels in line with my principles and would check this box.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember you saying something about wanting to be fair in all of your texting. And I've something like that comes up for me where I think, oh man, I had a really good time. Am I going to send the message like this time? What about all the other times?
Yeah.
Aren't they going to be insulted?
Yeah.
So I think it's going to hopefully cause me to say things more in the moment and maybe in text. Whereas before I never would have done it. Like it's a maybe for me now.
Yeah. And what about like traditions? How do you feel about traditions?
Still the same. Even probably more resolve to fuck traditions.
I think it's really interesting from this conversation. It made me realize how much I want to make more traditions that that just like are blank canvases of let's do things, but like let's make it a tradition to set this time to do that. I feel like that's a really like interesting way to visualize it for me.
I feel like there's got to be a different word for it. It feels like I don't know. It's if your family was like, hey, we don't get together. We haven't got together for Christmas, but we really want to this year. It would feel more real. Like they actually care, but it doesn't feel like a tradition because you can change it up next year. Let's start a tradition to never do traditions.
Yeah. I like this.
But we do this new word thing that we haven't come up with every year, which is come up with an improvised tradition. Maybe that's what it is.
Improvised tradition. Yeah, I
the
like
tradition
that.
is to improv.
Yeah, of like just coming up with something fun and exciting thing to do with people you care about. Yeah. No, I mean I like that idea a lot, and I think that's really valuable. It's interesting because from what I've read in like from some studies and like just general research when it comes to like political like psychology, apparently people that lean more conservative are like a moral belief they have is that traditions are a valuable thing. I just think that's really interesting that that's like, it's a moral thing that really matters a lot to them, to people that lean more conservative. And so it's interesting that that might be like just something that's passed down politically, or like almost like in the same way that like religions can be a moral responsibility in someone that it leans more conservative too. So it's like, it's less about like doing this thing, but more of like this, for some reason, doing this thing really matters a lot to me. Passing down traditions is a valuable thing. And I lean a lot more, I'm way more like left leaning. I don't know exactly what to even call myself nowadays, but, but I think that I could see something valuable from the concept of passing down traditions generationally. If it's done in a correct way. I think if you can find ways to create traditions that has to like represent your family line, like representing your family's culture and who your great grandfathers and great grandmothers were and what they cared about, and in a way that's like the tradition is updated as the family goes on, that like the current family gets to add on to the tradition and morph it into something else. I think that could be a really valuable, beautiful thing. I think that's one of the reasons why people care so much about tradition, is that and why it could emotionally mean so much to someone, is that it's like people are going to fucking die. And the traditions are something that's passed on as a way to remember who you are. Like a lot of things always have, like a lot of traditions always have to be with like my grandparents. It's always like, it's a tradition to do this thing with your grandparent. And I could see why that'd be such an important thing. Cause it's like, oh, during this holiday or this time period, you are always remembering doing that thing with your grandparents. And that becomes like a very special thing. But I think if there was a way to morph it into a more dynamic tradition where the people currently living in the tradition get to add on to it, I think that could be really beautiful.
Yeah, that makes me think of a big part of why conservatives, older people that value traditions, they get upset if you don't. It's because it's a sign of loyalty if you do follow the tradition. And I think loyalty is a weird topic.
It's just so interesting because that's one, from what I understand, that's actually one of the other moral beliefs of conservatism, which is respecting authority, which is respecting your elders.
Yeah, this was one of my favorite takeaways from Game of Thrones of who do you keep your promises, your vows to, and who do you remain loyal to? And if you see, now that you've gained more perspectives and you see that your old one is cruel or unfair, then should you be loyal to your family? Like, no. But yeah, loyalty is a weird thing for me. I don't like it feels like I'm on your side because I'm on your side.
Yeah. Just like blanketed trust in a way.
Blind trust.
Maybe that's what I was trying to say, but blanketed visually in my head was the thing blinding the person.
Yeah. I mean, I think like blanket trust fits also, but I think it's also blind trust where it's like, it doesn't matter where your family.
Yeah.
And what if your family is not kind?
I mean, I grew up in a way with my family that was always like, respect your elders, and which is like, respect authority. Like, your elders are your authority. You should listen to people that are older than you because they have wisdom. And I would partially agree with that. I do think older people do have wisdom in areas based off of, because they've lived a longer life that they could like share with you. But it's so dependent on the person. Just like, generally trust anyone that's older than you and listen to them, and don't say no to someone that's older to you. I think that's like so fucked up. And that's something I've actually completely just like told my kids. I'm like, just because someone's older than you does not mean you need to listen to them. And that was something that I never had when I grew up. I always felt like I had to do what older people said to me. And I think a lot of people, like younger generations, relate to that of like, why the fuck should I have to deal with someone like treating me like shit or potentially like emotionally or physically abusing me in some way just because they're older and they have the right to do that. And I don't think you should trust everyone or respect everyone.
I think the thing that's not said in the respect your elders is that the elders don't need to, maybe aren't even supposed to respect the younger people. I don't like that it's one way.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what bothers me about that. I do think older people are much more likely to have experienced something and you can ask them for their advice, but respect your elders in general. Yeah, respect the people that earn it.
Exactly. Like just because someone, like, that's I guess what I was trying to hint at with like, when it comes to like someone having wisdom, just because you're like 7 years old doesn't mean you have wisdom. You can be a 7-year-old person who's like stuck to the exact same life they had when they're 40 and never changed. But then there might be someone who's 70 who's still kind of lived a exploratory life since like the same way that people do in their 20s and their 30s and their 40s where they're like trying new things and adapting. That's the person that's going to have a lot of wisdom. There could also be wisdom in someone who maybe doesn't do a whole lot of things different, but is really trying to deeply understand the life they are living. Like you can think of someone that's like someone in their 50s becomes a farmer and they just want to live off the land and they're really connected to nature and understanding and like that lifestyle and how to find happiness and joy from doing that type of thing. If they do that for 30 years, they could still have a lot of wisdom. That would be a good lesson learned. But someone just sitting on their fucking couch watching TV constantly, I don't like, what do I have to learn from you besides how to like answer Jeopardy questions?
Yeah, I think what they're really saying is defer to your elders.
Oh, interesting.
Like if there's a disagreement, if we are at odds, then me, older, I get to decide. And I don't like that because they're just going to choose the tradition.
Yeah, I mean, I personally feel this way with like you a bit. Like you're a little bit older than me, but like just because of that, I don't think I need to fucking text the way you do. Honestly, like I fucking hate it. I despise like the.
God,
I think you're
kids
just
these days.
You're just projecting this shit onto me from your old generational way of texting. Back when you guys had texting.
Someone told me that I was a Zennial. Have you heard that term?
A Zennial?
Yeah, in between Gen X and Millennial. Because I'm like right at the very end of Millennial or the beginning of Millennial and the end of Gen X.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that term before.
I feel like there's value to that because I do think it's a like the person who's born between both can kind of like become either.
And it's Nick was saying this. He was saying that Zennials grew up without technology and then had technology.
Yeah.
Those particular people in particular, and that was definitely me. Like, no technology. Oh, can we get a Nintendo? And then like when I was a teenager, we got a computer. So
Yeah.
it was like I grew up in it.
Yeah. And I mean, it's just weird that technology has just adapted. Like there's so much more things to technology now because yeah, when I was little, we had a little Windows 95 computer that I fucked around on and was born into that, but cell phones, nothing like that. I didn't have a cell phone until I think I was like 16, had to pay for my own little flip phone.
Wow.
Yeah. So it is weird because now like younger kids are being born with a phone. Like I heard there's like actual studies where kids are actually coming out of their mother's womb holding a phone.
Oh, interesting. I've heard that that's like a new tradition.
Really?
Yeah.
Of like
It happens at Catholic hospitals.
being born with a phone.
Yeah.
Like, and does it have like the Catholic Bible like pre-installed as like bloatware on the phone?
Yep, it does. But as soon as it comes out, the mom's like, "What are you doing with that phone?" And they spank the baby.
With the phone?
Yes.
Oh my God. What kind of hospital is this?
Catholic.
It's just a Catholic hospital. Only Catholics can go there?
No, anyone can go there, but if you're born there, you are Catholic.
You become Catholic.
Yeah.
You don't have to even like remain in the church. You're just
You don't even have to say any words. You don't have to go to confession. It's like a loophole. Straight to heaven if you're born in a Catholic hospital.
Oh, I know where I'm going to go after this. and forge some records so I can join the Catholic Church. I'm ready. I'll like tattoo like a fucking like a bruise mark from the phone that smacked me when I was a baby.
Yeah, the keys and imprinted.
Yes. Yeah, I think it'd be great. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe to our channel and maybe check out this other video here.